Hello everyone and welcome back to another travel video. Europe is, in my opinion, one of the best places in the world to go hiking. It's just breathtakingly stunning and offers you perfect scenery and great opportunities for landscape photography. This is Tales from Abroad, and in this video I'll focus on 5 extraordinary hikes in Europe you definitely don't want to miss out on. So without further ado, let's get started. Number 1. The Hochstollen Mountain in Switzerland. This mountain is located in the area of Obwalden and should be on every hiker's bucket list. It is absolutely magical and is simply a dream destination for every hiking enthusiast. To complete this hike, you start off at Hasselberg Twing and take the lift up to Kasserstadt station. From there, you start hiking towards Hochstollen Mountain. It costs 65 euros to go with the lift, including parking, and 53 euros to go back again. You should expect this to be a full day hike, and it's a relatively tough one. At times it gets quite steep and you walk for many hours. There are a few areas where it gets pretty challenging, and it's an absolute no-go if you are afraid of heights. But do have in mind that it is not a dangerous route, and if you stick to the trails and don't go off-road, you should be fine. Once you reach the top, you will be blown away by this place. The view from the Hochstollen Mountain is so magnificent that it is worth every step along the way. Spend some time at the top, enjoy the view and head back to the valley by the same route as where you came from. It is possible to bring a tent and make this into a 2-day experience. We found the most magical spot to set up the tent and sleep for the night. You can learn more about this hike by following the link in the top corner. Moving on to number 2, the Sigman Hood hike in the Dolomites of North Italy. This is a 2-day hike with an overnight at the beautiful Sigman Hood. It offers unique hiking trails, fantastic mountain huts and outstanding landscapes. You will start the hike from the parking lot of Trecimi di Lavedo near the Refugio Aranzo. There is a 30 euros entrance fee per vehicle, which you pay for at the toll booth situated 5 kilometers before the parking area. From the parking lot, you walk halfway around Trecimi di Lavedo until you reach Dreisenhut, and then you turn right, heading towards the Sigman Hood, where you sleep for the night. Your accommodation is the most charming little mountain hut located down in a valley surrounded by huge mountain rocks. The rooms are very nice, the service is great and the food is very good as well. It's the perfect place to stay after a hard day of hiking. I would highly recommend that you wake up for the sunset, as it is just magical. After breakfast, you'll head back to the parking lot by the same route as where you came from yesterday and complete the famous Trecimi di Lavedo loop. It's not the most crowded hike except for the Trecimi loop. Matter of fact, there will be times during the days where you are completely alone in the mountains. You should expect 2 full days of hiking, and it can be a bit hard from time to time, but almost everyone can complete this hike, regardless of age. The only thing you should be aware of is that if you're afraid of heights. If that's the case, I wouldn't recommend this hike. But besides that, it's a fantastic area that you shouldn't miss out on. So let's move on to hike number 3, Lac Blanc in France. The hike of Lac Blanc is one of the most famous walks in the French Alps and should be on every hiker's bucket list. It's located close to the town of Chamonix and with an outstanding view of Mont Blanc and the surrounding mountains. You start by taking the cable car from La Fletcherie and get off at the end station. And I apologize for the pronunciation. We paid 60 euros per person to go with the lift. So from the end station where you get off, you start hiking towards Lac Blanc, which takes 2 to 3 hours and is a relatively easy hike. And if you're afraid of heights, this is the perfect route for you. At Lac Blanc, you can relax for a while by the beautiful lake and then return back by the same route as where you came from. But you also have the option of staying overnight at the mountain hut of Lac Blanc. If you have the budget, I would highly recommend that. We paid €250 for 3 people, including a lunch pack, and it was worth every penny. But please notice that you need to book the accommodation weeks before, if not even months before arriving. If you skip the accommodation and make it into a one-day hike, you should have in mind though that this is a fairly crowded hike and a very popular destination. So during the day, it gets very busy. On the other hand, if you book the accommodation, it will be far less touristy, especially the next day, as you'll head back during the morning hours, where it's far less crowded. If this hike sounds interesting, make sure to check out my full video in the top corner after you have watched this video. And on that note, let's move on to our next stunning hike. Our next destination is the Brienz Rothorn hike. Situated in the Bernese Oberland, this corner of Switzerland is certainly the ideal postcard and shows one of Europe's most incredible landscapes. This hike includes the magnificent Brienz Rothorn barn, which takes you to the summit of Brienz Rothorn, which cost us €58 and starts from the town of Brienz. The train ride is extremely beautiful and the view is even better when you reach the summit. Spend some time at the top, enjoy the view and have some lunch. You can either bring your own food or eat at the restaurant. When you think you have spent enough time at the summit, you start hiking back towards the town of Brienz again. It takes around 4 hours and it's a very beautiful hike. The only downside is that it is downhill the entire time. It's not a very difficult hike though, and it is suitable for those who are afraid of heights. The first part of the trip is extremely busy and very touristy, but once you start hiking down towards Brienz again, it gets very nice and quiet. And a little bonus tip, I would highly advise against setting up a tent and sleep for the night. There are many beautiful places in Switzerland where you can do so, but this is not one of those places. It's a very steep area and there are a lot of cows on the mountain as well. And last but not least, number 5, the Fronalpstock viewpoint hike in Switzerland. The summit of the Fronalpstock boasts an unbeatable 360 degrees panoramic view of the stunning landscape of the Swiss district and is an absolutely gorgeous hike. You park your car at a parking lot named Marstadt-Talstadt. You then go by the cable car and get off at the end station named Stuhlsbergstadt, from where you start hiking. You'll pay €21 per person. This will include the return ticket as well. Depending on your shape, it will take you approximately 3 hours hiking up to the summit, and it isn't too hard. This hike is definitely not too crowded and touristy. It only gets a bit crowded when you reach the summit, as it is a pretty popular place. But for the rest of the route, you would be pretty much alone the entire time. If you're afraid of heights, you shouldn't worry too much. This hike isn't that difficult. You should expect to spend a full day on this hike, and it ticks all the boxes for those looking to experience some of the most phenomenal sceneries in central Switzerland. So that was 5 stunning hikes in Europe you shouldn't miss out on. I hope you enjoyed my video and found it helpful. If so, make sure to subscribe to my channel and like the video. It would mean a lot to me and it will help grow my channel. Thank you so much for watching and see you in my next video.